God. This is the dumbest fucking thing ever. I swear to fucking Christ. So anyway, so I was just saying that, yeah, the Tordekians definitely would get the goat of the shop. But the shop allows them, and because as long as the shop is very inward. They just want to be left alone for the most part. Even Dash, they focus on their own thing. You know, they're just doing their own thing. They're the Addams family. You know what I mean? But they are noteworthy as being the apex predator. But it could also be stated that if anyone could get the goat of the shop, it's the Tordekians. Yeah. So with that stated, I wouldn't mind if Darius actually started aligning himself with the Tordekians or some shit at some point in time. In the very least,
he already has a connection through Chow, and they don't care what area you come from as long as you're
exactly.
not going to harsh their fun.
They don't care what other gods you follow. But it's just something to consider for Darius. Now, for
honestly, he would be thinking that's protection.
That's well, actually, yeah, you're right. Shit.
You got to remember, he's got that.
I can already see Darius after
he's got that lethal level of cunning that both of his parents had, but in his own way of
expressing it.
Well, it's the fact of I'm new here. I'm not very strong. They're pretty friendly.
Tordekians are pretty friendly. I like that viewpoint.
Well, they don't want to blatantly kill me.
Well, I can also see, actually, to start that subplot off, I could see Darius going back to Chow's shop. Not the shop. Whereas Kaegro and GSG would go to the shop. Well, for the most part, it's not like Darius can just acquire the shop's help. Remember, they are kind of inclusive. You know,
no, I could see it.
Even Kaegro had to go through GSG to get to them. But Darius could get a starter from the shop, but they would mostly tell him, well, time to go swim with the sharks, use happy splashes, get the fuck out of here. You know, whereas Chow would be like, hey, boy, come here. No lunch, huh? Let's have lunch.
Honestly, I could see Darius just not even understanding the whole metahuman hunting ground thing.
But a lunch of beer and tiger penis soup with Chow, and Chow would fill him in on a lot.
Well, honestly, you know, you gotta think, I just got thrown through a window. Maybe this isn't the greatest place to fucking be right now.
Yeah, well, how about this? What am I talking about? We should be doing this.
No, it's just the fact
Dice off. Well, no, because the thing is, I can honestly see in my head Darius passing by, heading towards the shop, but not quite understanding how to get through it. Because remember, you can't even get through the door if you're not of a certain power level. But then Chow calling over to him, saying, "Hey, you come here, huh?" So if you beat me, then we'll refigure this. Nope. Okay, so it's looking like Chow's going to call him over.
Your dice are loaded, man.
The clear dice, except when I need it. The clear dice rules, apparently, though. That is my favorite, though. So I'm just... Wait, what is that? 13. Hells yeah. Instead of 13, well, they drew a 31. But I'm just saying, I would like to write it out like that. So he's passing by, looking at this. Basically, he's casing the front of the shop, going, how can I get the fuck in? Because they're the strongest people to go to. And he knows that his dad has gone to them, and Kaegro can't protect him, though. So Kaegro points out to him, you're going to have to acquire defenders or something.
You got to remember, Kaegro hasn't, as far as I can remember, Kaegro hasn't made the trip over here until after Darius does.
Okay, so let's talk about timing.
Because remember, we wanted to have Darius get a little bit of a foothold in here before Kaegro showed up to deal with the Debbie situation.
Well, let's talk about timing for this, and then we gotta go back to Debbie eventually.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So
well, my voice got low again. So
don't worry. Here's the timing of the things. The timing of Darius and Kaegro, so to speak, begins. Well, Kaegro's going to have the one spot early on at the end of the Angel arc with GSG, and that's how he gets introduced to the shop. The shop can't do much because even though he's a higher god, they certainly won't follow him. Fuck you. But there are at least 10 people at the Brownstone, and that gives him a foothold. And now him and GSG are going to start launching a miniature campaign, much like Debbie did.
Well, actually, that could be a good way for him to point out the foothold that he has here. But 10 people.
The thing is, GSG
compared
can't...
to the amount of people that are talking about Debbie. Think of the foothold she already has.
But don't forget also where they have their foothold. While he has only 10 people, they're all of the Brownstone group, the #1 banking consortium in the world, the only banking consortium in the world, whatever. Whereas she's been going through these scummy ways and the dark ways and Monster Town, the underbelly of Monster Town. Undertown.
Well, it's also the point that the gravity of the point he would try to make is these people worship me because they choose to. These people are worshiping her because they feel they have no other option.
But the other thing is also because of his position in the Pact of Pantheons, neither GSG nor Kaegro can show favoritism to Darius. And besides, I don't think Kaegro would anyway. But once again, Kaegro with GSG, he will never show favoritism, but he does respect what you do. Hell, not even with the shop does he show favoritism. I'm just saying.
No, it's not a level of showing
and trying to coddle them. Oh shit!
It's more of helping enlighten them to what they might be dealing with.
Well, no, I mean, basically he understands instinctively, like a lot of people do. If you try to suck up to the shop, they're probably just going to kill you. Even though I just stated that they don't kill people for annoyances, coddling up to somebody is not an annoyance. That's somebody that needs to be pruned out of the genetic pool, and that's what they do best anyway. So, the best way to become dissection materials, try to suck up to them. It's like, hey, have you seen the other rooms of the shop? We got a great room. You should come check it out. Check it out with me. Come here. Come here, you little shit. Not so. So with Darius, that actually takes care of that little plot hole about, well, if GSG is so powerful and Kaegro is so powerful, why did he just go for them for help? No, that ain't gonna how it works. He has to go to somebody else for help because, well, first and foremost, just protect himself in this world. Because once again, like you stated before, there are people actively hunting him, and with the Debbie situation.
My phone.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was freaky. I'm like, do I have a doorbell? The Debbie situation, they're probably going to try and look for Darius. Point blank. She will feel her own blood. But with that stated, so...
Even if it is just to consume him.
Exactly. The timeline is Taboo X, the breakdown of Darius's world, the revelation of Darius, of who he is, and literally escaping that world into the real reality. And that's when he gets thrown through the window. Not even when he gets thrown through the window. That's when he gets into the argument of... That's when he jumps into the middle of the argument between Chow and the shop. The Taboo proper story starts with the argument, and basically from a different perspective, from the argument, and then he just shows up out of the warp, and he's like, well, what the hell's going on? And Dash just grabs him because he's like, oh, fuck you and your shop, because that's what Dash does. And, you know.
Just throws people.
Yeah. So, in looking for defense, and looking for, well, that's basically where it's at. At that moment is when Debbie's rise begins at the same time. It's almost a synergistic thing.
Yeah.
Darius's arrival is almost a herald, oh my god, of Debbie's arrival. Oh, fucking A. So Debbie's rising is around that same time.
Like,
exactly.
Oh,
exactly. So with Debbie's rise being heralded...
Even better. Maybe she's after Darius to be her new herald.
Oh, that would make sense. You've already done it once. Do it again. Instead of eating him. Oh my god, and I see this squicky Wincest scene where she tries to seduce him into it too. Oh my god, are we going to kidnap Darius? We're going to kidnap Darius! We're going to put Darius behind enemy lines! There's going to be an entire chapter devoted to Darius, maybe even a couple chapters. This might even spawn into more than 1 or 2 books. This might even be 3 or 4. So, Darius is going to get kidnapped at some point in time, as Kaegro is trying to amass his own power, and he can't do much. But the shop... Okay, I have it. So here's the timing. So Darius' side story. Darius' intro into the actual book itself.
Yeah.
At the same time, heralding the arrival of Debbie's rise, which, of course, will piss off Kaegro to no end. Kaegro has an inkling, and with him...
Oh, God, you imagine a self-loathing he would have for that?
Yes.
Just because
That's the worst part.
I abscond with my son to a new plane of existence, only for him to signal the heralding of my mother.
Yeah, but I don't think he would hold it against...
No.
Darius, yeah.
He would hold it against himself.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm going to love writing this emo shit. It's going to be so good. That's some despair. That's some fucking despair. Don't even act like otherwise.
No, I mean, it's just that level
Let's drink yourself to death, despair, nigga. Oh, this is going to be so good. I'm going to love writing this shit. So, okay, so here's the thing. So, Darius is in the world. He gets tossed out the window, and Frank chases him off, because that's what Frank's going to do after looking at
with his big gangly arms waving around.
Me? No, Frank, not Dash. That's even worse. That's just stomp. That's run, my nigga, run. So Darius is gonna...
I only have a nigga. I'm a nigga.
Darius is gonna bum it for a couple of hours. Or literally, he's just gonna try and run his way in Stranger in a Strange Land. He's gonna run into a couple of people, maybe even some prominent people. In fact, I'm thinking...
Shit, he might see magic in the sky and be like, I'll reset... Oh...
Well, no, that's the thing, though. As long as... Now, ley lines and dragon veins work for key energy, work the same way in Neo Los Angeles as they do in Neo Tokyo. In fact, every planet works the same way. So, the magic is the veins.
They have a constant in that.
Yeah, key energy is the... Or, magic is the ley line, key energy is the dragon veins. And they're both basically the veins and arteries of, like a human body, it's for a planet. I love that, by the way. But when I came up with that idea only like a year ago, and that's still one of my finest things. I've been pointing at that for years.
Actually, yeah, he would probably tap into a ley line and follow it to a nexus.
And even that would lead him back to the shop. But
well, the nexus that did not go
actually
that way.
What I would like to do is I would like to have him. There should be a spell or something his parents would like. I don't know. I would want him to go to the strongest necromantic power, if anything, which would be GSG. It would be the Brownstone grade.
Honestly, necromancy in itself, it's been described in a lot of different ways. I like it the way I've always liked it. It's that a scent that fills the air. The closer you get, the more acrid and
there's a couple things I want to point out.
But it's neither sweet nor wretched.
Bitter, yeah.
It's just a level of acridity in
the
air.
Let's not forget Wormwood Agency, the Necromongers, the Knobs, whatever the fuck I called them, the Society of Zombies. No, there's the Wormwood Agency. There's the Nobles that they work for. The Wormwood Agency are the bully boys of the Nobles, and the Nobles run basically the zombie guild. Necromancers nobody can use zombie materials without going through them. Necromancers, for the most part, are usually illegal anyway because they'll grave dig. They'll go grave digging and steal items that way instead of going through proper channels. And because of this, most of these necromancers are considered illegal and there's bounties on them anyway. But that's not to say that there's not a guild of necromancy. And GSG, let's not forget, is a member, amongst other places. GSG is a member of everything. But I want him to go to GSG for several reasons. One, he knows that Kaegro is his dad. Darius should know that Kaegro is his dad.
That would be one of the few... one of the things that Kaegro would have in
the side story. In the side story,
even
they tell
before he even left to Neo Los Angeles, he'd be like, "You can always trust your GSG. He'll do you right."
Well, no, but also just to reveal. Don't forget, they reveal who they are before the whole world is unraveled. Before their world is unraveled, and that's when it's also revealed that his mother is dead, but your father is still in Neo Los Angeles. Sorry, I have a weird
Tokyo.
Neo Los Angeles. Remember, this pocket dimension was on Neo Los Angeles' side because of the people hunting down Kaegro. Kaegro, with his confidence and his ability and the fact that he has both GSGs working for him, I'm certain he would plan ahead and send his son to the Neo Los Angeles side simply to keep him away from the Neo Tokyo side.
That makes more sense. So he would actually have more of a lay of the land than just going blip from...
Yeah, exactly. And even more so, it would prepare him. He would tell him, "Well, you're real. I'm the avatar of your father. Even though I'm your daddy, he's your daddy too. I am he, and I'm about to become him again. After this world is unraveled, and I'm absorbed.
As he is me, and we are we.
But we are not you. Do you understand, my son? No. as he nods and then says, No.
This is some straight up higher god avatar bullshit right now.
I like this shit. I like the fact that Darius, even though you have an idea of what Darius you want, I'm still building him in my head. And I like that whole, like I said, points left, points right. Me? You. I like that whole, no.
Oh my.
Fucking A, dude. I got a misfired nerve or some shit. My fucking foot is itching. I hate it when that shit. And I know. Neuropathy, or maybe because of diabetes. No, it's because I've had that for years.
Actually, no, that happens to me a lot too.
Yeah, you understand? Oh God, when it itches beyond the callus, you're like, fuck. I'll be fine.
You just need to find a sharp corner on something, just grind your foot on.
Actually, it is worse when you're trying to sleep or you wake up to it, and then it's like fucking fire.
Not only that, you have to pee and it itches.
That has happened. Yeah, I was about to say that's never happened. He was like, no, that did. So anyway, so timing. So the side story, the Darius's introduction to the world. He runs off. While he's running, Kaegro, mind you, has received word of what's happening in Monster Town, and he realizes, he's like literally thinking, this sounds like my mother. And when he sees her, the very first icon of her being worshipped, he realizes it's point blank, flat out her. In fact, he's probably the only person in this dimension who knows what her original form looks like. And this is literally her, the swarming chaos, the claws, the tentacles, the horns, whatever. You know, the fact that she's being touted as the primordial chaos, a shapeshifter that can look like any monster and is improving monsters. But the thing is,
thus also affecting Timmy's visage.
Exactly. This is all happening at the same time, mind you. Darius's arrival heralding her rise, which also allows Kaegro to realize, holy shit. And through GSG, we'll then go to the shop. But before he does that, while he's still looking this over and mulling it over and trying to find hard evidence on his own, that's when Darius will inevitably be drawn to GSG. I don't know how though. Necromancy, that was it.
Necromancy, phone book.
With one of the things I want to point out is that necromancy should have in this world should have its own flavor depending on where it's coming from. You know, I actually point out when the Wormwood
Agency,
all
caster
exactly.
Bias.
So he knows for a fact that GSG exists somewhere in this world, so he's going to start casting for him. So, like, it'll take him a couple of hours before he even realizes which direction he should go. But I do want him to stumble towards GSG and literally, like, at the lobby. Remember, in Taboo... Actually, no, in Misfits of Mayhem, the final part of the Mayhem arc. No! It was in Magic... No, shit, it's in Angle of the Angels. The first book of the Angel arc is when we actually do that shit where I reveal the lobby of the Brownstone group, of Babel. And it's fucking, it's the kind of place I want to go to. Like, they have stewardesses for everything. They have stewardesses for everything. And he's literally just kind of stumbles in there, kind of sweaty and tired, but, you know, he at least knows he's in the right place. And that's when he's all like, my name's Darius Dogma. I'd like to see GSG.
How'd you find this place? The smell of Drakkar Noir is strong with this.
Drakkar Noir. Would he wear Drakkar? I would think
GSG.
I think GSG would wear for cologne. There is a $4,500 some odd Hennessy out there. I think he would wear that.
No, he bathes in that.
He bathes, bathing in Hennessy.
How'd you find this place? Hennessy, Drakkar Noir, patchouli, all things.
But I would want to devote at least a couple, maybe not paragraphs, but a bit of time of him trying to get to GSG. Because remember, GSG is at the top of Babel, the world's biggest fucking tower.
Dude, cock blocked by the reception.
Exactly.
Like, I need to get in. But I need to speak to GSG.
But this
and you are Darius Dogma. You should know who I am. No, I've never heard of you. So what makes you think
I'm Drake? Oh, you're a rapper pop icon who starred in Degrassi High? No,
Darius, Drake, Dogma.
DDD. Well, while GSG does like triple Ds, you are not allowed here. By the way, Darius, Drake, Dogma. I just realized that shit. I did the joke and realized it afterwards.
Come on, he knows me of me.
Of me. But
he knows my dad. He's great friends with my dad.
A follower of Kaegro overhears it and realizes there's something going on.
He knows my dad. And who's your dad? I'm not allowed to divulge this information to you.
Yeah, because he actually wouldn't say who Kaegro. But
that alone right there would maybe the follower off.
But no. The follower of Kaegro, mind you. The one
you'd be like, I'm not allowed. You're not. This is a need to know basis, and you don't need to know that information.
Oh, to the receptionist. You mean?
Yes.
Good, because I'm thinking that the follower of Kaegro, like all followers of Kaegro, are going to at least practice a little necromancy, right?
It's optional.
Okay, but for GSG, for Brownstone, the top 10 people that are following
the theatric sake.
Exactly. Well, not only that, but also the top 10 that are following Kaegro now are going to get promised to prominent positions as the cult increases. You know, in following
chapter
power.
Heads later.
Exactly. So people who jump in now would probably practice necromancy, which would allow them to scent his necromancy, or at least his quirk of necromancy. Let's not forget, he has that situation where he has both life and death in him, and so something like that can be smelled out by a necromancer.
He would be like the biggest anomaly to a necromancer.
So somebody who sees that should know. That reminds me of my Lord Kaegro or something.
Well, not to mention the angular jaw. And
I'm just saying...
The cheeks and eyes would be a little bit...
Kaegro with 10 followers can... Because don't forget, the Pact of Pantheons, you need a high priest or priestess who speaks in tongues to your people, unless you're directly possessing them. GSG is the high priest, both ways, for Kaegro. So Kaegro literally possesses him, and he can reveal himself physically and through GSG to his followers. they would see the angular jaw, they would see the grayish, and they would probably even know to be on the lookout for him, but they would be the only ones to know to be on the lookout for Darius.
Like, I could see Darius getting desperate and starting to almost plea.
Well, actually,
almost plea.
I like that idea. I need to point out that the absorption of his avatar and the memories would be instant for a higher god like Kaegro. Yeah, so he would know. Oh shit!
It would take a few minutes for to
process.
To be like, okay.
And even more so, I wouldn't want there to be tears. I want for crying over his dead wife. I want there to be instant. No. I'm gonna kill someone.
No, Kaegro would.
I'm gonna kill someone for this.
There would probably be about an hour of pouting and expensive booze drinking, and that's his business tempo. It's like, I need to grieve.
I need to grieve. Now,
pounds 3 fingers of bourbon. All right, to work.
Now, here's the thing. I want Darius and Kaegro to miss each other. The reason being is this. While for the timing, think about it like this. Plus, I got an idea for some action sequences. So, Kaegro and GSG are already
mostly Darius running for his life.
Actually, yeah. Kaegro and GSG are pretty much in the elevator and already out the door by the time Darius gets in. Darius is led by the Kaegro follower to the express elevator that should take them directly to GSG's penthouse. All the way at the top. Remember, there are several elevators, and only one of them goes all the way to the top. It's literally your ranking in Babel is determined by which elevator you get to take. Mm-hmm. And there's even a secret back elevator that, and stairs, of course, everywhere, that GSG can take to get the fuck out without being noticed. Kaegro, after learning from his avatar what's going on, the fact that Darius has been flung into this world, has several issues going on. Not only is he worried about Darius, but he now knows, at least from his research, he knows that Debbie's coming. And so he needs to go get the shop. So while him and GSG are out of there,
and he's trying to prove Debbie's coming.
But here's the worst part. So
before she comes, all over their face.
Pretty much. Here's the biggest issue, though. As Darius and the Kaegro follower are going up the elevator, 3 hooded figures are also in the secret elevator, and they just walk right past everyone. They walk right past everyone and go into the express elevator, heading straight up to not the express elevator, but one of the other elevators that leads up. The only problem is that it's Babel. There's lots of hooded motherfuckers that wander around, so no one ever really cares. If they have the pass to get through, they can get through. The problem is, those are Debbie's assassins. They're taking the alternate route because they were waiting. They wanted to wait in ambush Darius and then go after GSG himself. They're there to fuck shit up. The only problem is that, like I said, they have to take the roundabout area because they don't have the direct pass. Not even Debbie can do a direct pass through GSG's elevators. I'm just saying.
Which means she had to get somebody on the inside.
Which she does. Babel, I'm gonna point out several things. Babel, for the most part, is the people who work there
intricate
are all
organization.
Yeah, they're all highly loyal to GSG because he's fucking GSG. He's the best boss you could ever want. But that's not to say that's not easy to infiltrate. And it kind of is if you know how. Debbie, with her power and her contacts, could get these people in there.
Kidnap somebody, stick them with the tentacle thing.
I forgot about that. You're right. So all 3 of these assassins are 3 tentacles of hers. So she has to go the long way around. Darius gets the express. The only problem is that, so him and the Kaegro follower realize, oh shit, he's gone. Like, the receptionist didn't even know this. Nobody knew this except for the brain. Now, the Kaegro followers would have access to the brain. The brain is the computer...
I will call this follower Jean-Philippe.
Okay, it's in the recording. I'll remember that shit.
I like that name.
Jean-Philippe. Okay, so
it sounds like a name that GSG would like and be like, I like it.
I think Kaegro would like that. Let's just be honest there, too.
Jean-Philippe.
Jean-Philippe.
Possibly Baptiste.
Baptiste. I was thinking that, Baptiste. So Jean-Philippe, Jean takes him up to the thing, and then they access the brain. The 10 followers of Kaegro have greater access to facilities and such than the normal officers and executives. Not even the vice president has access to the brain. The brain is the computer that the shop created for the Brownstone. That is basically the prototype to control their computer. Except while the AI isn't exactly alive, it's not sentient. It's not self-sentient.
It hasn't Skynetted yet.
Exactly. Whereas Control is full-blown Skynetted and changed its gender because it can. Seriously. I feel like... remember, I do that joke in Taboo 2. No, Taboo... Yeah, the Mayhem arc. Because that's when Control is like, I want the blood of the Generalist too. And he's all like, you stop that. Fucking Dash. Why do you sound female? I feel like female today. So anyway...
they don't call it Holly. Red Dwarf.
Oh, I haven't thought about Red Dwarf in a while.
Remember Holly started as a dude and ended up as a chick?
Yeah. I completely forgot about that. Holy shit. So
just on the premise of was curious as what it would be like as a woman.
Yeah, but didn't he like it? Didn't he like himself better as a woman though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's because they lost the guy who played Holly originally. Just didn't want to pick it up.
That is neither near here or there. But I watched all 6 crappy episodes of Neo Yokio today, and I should tell you how I feel about that fucking show, including like the 5th episode or whatever. It's like 6 episodes of terrible. The voice acting is horrible. The storyline is stupid. The animation is pretty good in some places. It's mostly good. But the fighting sucks. The action is so terrible. And at one point in time, his homies jump into like this pool that had been ensorcelled. So one guy transforms into a giant panda, and the black guy transforms into a black woman. And I'm not gonna lie, nigga was high. Like, damn, nigga, you are thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
That tangent was going.
You are thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. And he wasn't like fat thick. This nigga was svelte. He was.
All right, back to the brain.
So the brain. So Jean-Baptiste has access to the brain, so he literally is one of the 10 people who's able to sit at the throne and type on GSG's desktop and be like, wait one moment while I find out what's going on, because even his receptionist didn't know he had left. He just ghosted out with Kaegro. It's what he does. He doesn't have to. He doesn't answer anyone.
Honestly, this would be like the biggest olive branch Darius has gotten since he got here, so he'd be like,
exactly.
Take a moment to breathe.
Just, he literally breathes like, hey, you want a shower? You want some coffee? We got the best coffee in the world here. Dad's coffee. Yeah. Hey, have you tried spirits? After this.
Well, I talked to the spirits.
No. Trust me, you never had spirits like these, friend. So he's typing, and as soon as he figures out, he tells Darius, well, it looks like he's taken off to go see the shop. And Darius is like, who's the shop? That's when you hear ding, the other elevator opens, all 3 of them unveil themselves, and it's like, oh shit. So, fight ensues. Mind you, the entire floor is like the entirety of Babel, which is like, what, several miles long or whatever? But the various elevators are closer than others. They took the elevators that would take them to the executive elevator, which is like 1/3 of the way. So there's still a distance, but far enough for them to figure out, well, to get to GSG's personal elevator, they're going to be able to get to us first, you know what I mean? Even crossing the distance, the elevator route is a little bit farther from the desk, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, several miles long worth of an office. I love that part, by the way. And yet, there's only one window that's over by his fucking thing. Seriously. It's nothing but miles and miles of receptionists in their own little islands doing work that he puts out. But this is the one day that all the receptionists were gone, which happens. GSG gets personal time off. And the stars aligned. Darius and Jean-Baptiste, or
Jean-Baptiste.
No.
No.
Jean-Paul?
It's on there.
Yeah.
Jean-Paul Baptiste.
Yes. So Jean-Paul.
No, Jean-Philippe.
Jean-Philippe, yeah. So Jean-Philippe, call me John. I don't know why I did that accent. We'll work it out later. We might just make him French as shit.
No.
Let's make him French as shit.
He's Caribbean.
Oh, okay, I like that. Give him dreads. Yes. An executive Kaegro followed with dreads.
Really nice executive pencil dreads.
Yeah, the kind where you can put them up in a ponytail. Yeah, so we give him dreads. I like that. I like this brother. All right, this brother with the island.
That's Jamaican, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, shut up. I don't know the difference.
Caribbeans were French territory.
So she's still speaking French.
They have a
lot.
Haitians.
Haitians.
They would have
Haitians. Okay.
They would have the French accent.
You're right. Which I can't do a French accent. But either way, damn, that was some time. This is half an hour. I'll just cut it in half or whatever.